Hey guys, it's Laura here from Little Lights by Laura, and I am making my daughter a Valentine's Day shirt, and I thought I would take you guys along for the ride. This is just a little corgi puppy. She's currently obsessed. We have no idea why. I just pulled it off of Google. I'm going to trace him and use him for a t-shirt. So because this is for my daughter, I'm not going to be selling this. That is why I'm able to trace. So I just went up to my tracing tool here and selected a trace area, and on this time I'm pretty sure I am good to go. If you need to adjust the threshold you can, but this looks good to me. Yep, that's great. And then I'm going to get rid of this line. So let me zoom in and show you guys how I like to do this. I will grab my knife tool and I will basically just cut it away from the top of the dog's ear. And then I will grab my arrow and just pull this away. I'm just going to right click and delete. And then I need to close this gap. So just double click and connect the red to the red. And there we go. Now that looks a little flat, so I'm just going to kind of double click and just pull it up a little bit, not much. Right there, perfect. And then again, I'm going to double click and I'm going to do the simplify of the points. But before I do that, oops, undo, I did not want to move that. There we go. Okay, see these two little dots out here? I want to get rid of those because those are just going to be little cuts that I don't need to happen. So I'm going to right click and make him a compound path, and then I'm going to double click to reveal the points, and I'm going to go to simplify. You guys saw me do this last week. This just creates less cutting on the silhouette and makes your cut job go faster. So I'm down for that. All right, so there's my little corgi puppy, and let me fill him in so you guys can see what he looks like. You can see that he's going to look fantastic when he cuts. All right, and let me pop these grids off of here real quick so you guys can see. I'm just going up to my page setup and unchecking that. All right, now I want to put some hearts around him because it's for Valentine's Day. So I'm going to go over to my library and I'm just going to kind of browse through the things that I have and get some hearts, which I have this heart envelope. And I'm just going to right click and ungroup. There we go. And I'm just going to put these around this little cutie. And I'm probably going to move them a little bit. Yep. Whoops. All right. Let's see. Okay. I'm not sure exactly what I love here, but we'll start with that. Okay, so I'm going to type, I want this to say puppy love. And I already know the font that I want to use because I love this font. I think it's so stinking cute and I recently used it. It's called Matchstick. And I'm going to right click and ungroup this. And I'm going to select the word love, make it a compound path, and I'm going to move it below the little puppy. And then select puppy, and I'm going to make that a compound path and move it on top. Now I'm going to select all three of these and I'm going to go over to my transform panel and I'm going to go horizontal center alignment, and that basically puts my words and the dog, everything centered. I'm just going to bump this down with my arrow key. I'm actually think I'm going to make this bigger and scoot it closer to the dog. Yeah. All right. Again, just kind of taking you guys through some of the design that I do. I don't really think it's anything fancy or different or unique, but this is just kind of where my brain takes me when I design stuff for my kiddos or for clients. So again, I'm just going to check the alignment. And there we go. And I'm going to bump this down a little bit. Maybe I will make it smaller because that L is crimping his paw style. All right, there we go. And I'm just adjusting this with my arrow keys. Nothing fancy. All right, now I'm going to play with these hearts a little bit and see if I like the look of something a little bit different. I thought about putting a big heart around him too, so I might show you guys that option as well, because this is kind of looking like a cluster. So let me see here. Try something just on a whim, because I can. So if I make a huge heart, I'm going to double click here and I'm going to scoot this up to make it look chubbier. And same thing here. Here we go. And I'm just going to right click or click to make it a little wider. All right. This is looking a little lumpy right here, so I'm just going to delete this point. And see how that kind of straightens that out. And same thing here, I'm going to delete this point. And it's just because I made it squattier. It's the only reason why it made it look like that. And let's see if I take it narrow, what happens to my love. Okay, might be liking this. Now I can totally have this run into the puppy if I want, or I can make the dog smaller. One of the things I like to do is I like to go to my reveal panel and I like to kind of be able to see my grid on my daughter's shirt. She's like a 3T, so I typically like to be around like a 5-inch square basically. Sometimes like this is a little bit deeper. It's a 6, which I'm okay with. But I really want the dog to be bigger, so I don't think I'm going to do the big heart. And I'm actually going to move this away because I really want the dog to be like the focus of the shirt, because the whole reason why I'm doing this is because she is dog obsessed. So let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay, a lot bigger. And see what happens. All right, so this is good. This is literally like the size of the shirt now. So if I just do something small underneath and have it say puppy love. Now, because I already separated these, don't worry, you can go back to your transform panel and you can align them vertically at the bottom, through the center, through the top, whatever you prefer. I typically go for the center, and then I'm just going to use my arrow keys to kind of scoot it away. So obviously this was unnecessary, if you will, just because I separated them earlier, but I changed my design, so it's all good. Okay, so I just hit the horizontal, align that vertically or horizontally. I don't love that. I think it's doing that because of the dog's tail. So I'm just going to eye it myself, and I'm kind of, a really nice tip or trick is if you want to, like I'm focusing right here at the center of this grid, and I'm going to square up the dog's nose right in the center of that grid. So I know this is like the middle line. Whoops. This line right here on my grid is kind of the middle. So if I line puppy, the Y, then visually to me that looks more balanced. I think the reason why it's centering it differently is because of his tail. So there you go. Okay. Then let me see what happens if I put a couple hearts around just the word puppy love and see what this does to Mr. Corgi puppy. And I'm just going to right click and duplicate that heart and bring it over here. I kind of like that. That's super cute. So I'm just going to color this in. The shirt that I'm making it on is pink, but I think sometimes when I show you guys, I pretty much just do it in black because it's easier to see. So there you go. This is my heat transfer vinyl Corgi puppy I'm going to make for my daughter for Valentine's Day. The new software is very cool because when you send it and you go to heat transfer vinyl, it will automatically ask you if you are going to invert your image or flip it. I forget the word. Here, we'll pull it up. We'll find out together. When I go to send it, which it's not finding my silhouette because I have them all turned off right now, it would give you the option down here to flip your image. So you can do that, or if you want to, while you're working on a design, you can right click and you can flip it horizontally, and then you'll make sure that your words are cutting out correctly and inverted, so that when you heat transfer vinyl, you always want to invert your image. So there you go. Hopefully this is helpful to you guys, and let me know in the comments below if you have a tutorial you would like to see. Have a great day.